Brooks, a little patience. You ever been to a live stream before? Goodness. Well, we're waiting, in all caps. This is typically how things go in a live stream. You click the go button to go live, and then you got to copy and paste and put stuff everywhere because you can't do that until after the stream is live, and then you kind of wait to let the room fill up. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Pictorial Network live stream. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Monday Monday was going great, kind of like tonight, and then YouTube and OBS apparently decided to crap out. I wasn't the only YouTuber that had that problem. I would also find out later. Apparently YouTube and OBS had a rough week a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So much to talk about, so much to discuss. And that's typically the case because we're only live twice a week, right? Time for another hog win. South Dakota coming up. That's a big one. Let's see. He's fixing his drink. It's a Taco Bell. I didn't eat Taco Bell today. We actually ate it last night for dinner, but I don't know what it is about these cups. I like throwing some ice cubes in there and then throwing some Mio energy drink. Yeah, I didn't have my Flamingo shirt. It was dirty. We didn't. Apparently, it got trapped on the bottom of the dirty hamper, and my kids throw all their clothes in, and then it piled up over the last. Well, for a while, and you know how it goes. Those of you who actually do the laundry in your households, I don't know, maybe some of you do. Flamingo Friday, let's go. Just pretend I'm wearing a Flamingo shirt. I think this is the first time ever that I haven't had the Flamingo shirt. I want a refund, says Mike Lane. Let's see. Never left the train, just renamed the locomotive. Asa, how's it going? Grant Patrick, what happened to Flamingo Friday? This is insanity, sir. Oh, it is. I know. So thank you guys so much. You know what to do. Like, comment, share the content. If you haven't already, if you're new here, if you happen to stumble upon this live stream, please feel free to tap the subscribe button. Okay. Arkansas lost out on more last week in recruiting. It's not a blow. It just kind of stinks because I really thought he was a hog up until the night before. May win without the shirt? Question mark. Seth, that's actually a really good point. Gavin. Western Kentucky beat the crap out of the Hogs at home, and you think they're going to go on the road and win 28-21. Not going to happen. There's just no way. Not going to happen. Yeah, so they lost out. Arkansas basketball lost out on, let's just go ahead and say it, a pretty big recruit. And so tomorrow you're going to have Jalen Williams announced. He's going to do this. So there was a video made. He did a video. He did that. That's what kids do today. They love the spotlight. I can't say that I blame them. If I were 17, 18 years old, senior in high school, and I had all these powerhouse programs after me, and I was all the buzz on the recruiting sites, I think I would probably do the same thing. Let's not act like you wouldn't either. I know I would. Maybe some of you wouldn't. Some of you don't like the spotlight. Then again, I am sitting in front of a camera. But he's going to announce tomorrow. He's going to release a video. Supposedly someone from the Arkansas media helped him set that up. I'm not going to say who, but that is what has been passed along to me, and I'm still on board that he's going to be a hog. Jalen is a big time player. Number one player, according to 24/7 Sports, in the state of Arkansas. He's a highly rated 4-star center, forward, whatever you want to call him. 6'9.5", 6'10", about 230 pounds. His offers include, besides Arkansas, Auburn, Oklahoma State, Connecticut. But Auburn has made a real big push. There was also rumors that Bruce Pearl was going to show up to Fort Smith. I don't know if that happened. I don't know. But these are Bruce Pearl antics. He's going to come in. This is what he does. This is how he snipes recruits. It's going to be tough. If Bruce Pearl wants you, Arkansas will struggle to compete. Even Arkansas, which is a much more relevant program than Auburn in basketball. In terms of like what they bring to the SEC, Auburn's just now turning the corner. Although this year They wiped the slate clean this year, but I still think Auburn's going to be damn good this year. Them and LSU. Of course, we all know why LSU is, Fire the money guns. Pachoo, pachoo, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Handing out dollar bills, y'all. Not dollar bills, though. They're like $100 bills. They got caught in the act, and nobody gives a damn. Memphis got caught in the act, and the NCAA is pretending to give a damn. Did you guys see that? They're going to force that kid. Highly, possibly the number one player in the NBA draft. They're going to force him to pay $11,500. There's all the rumors of how Penny Hardaway helped him get up to move his family and all that, and all these rumors. Like it's substantiated. It happened. It's obvious that it happened. The NCAA ruled it as such. Although you have to take the NCAA at face value, but there's no doubt. We've said this before, and I think we mentioned this last year. How the hell is Memphis? Yeah, they're a good basketball program, but they're not that good. I don't care who. I don't care if Michael Jordan was their head coach. Like, there's no reason. Okay, that might make a difference. Michael's name still has some staying power, I think, even with these millennials. It's just bizarre how Memphis is able to do what they've been able to do recruiting wise. So, yeah, I think something happened, and now the NCAA is like, okay, we're going to suspend you for 12 games, and oh, by the way, you're going to have to pay out $11,500. I think that's stupid. Honestly, I'm all for the suspension. In my opinion, really, he ought to be suspended for like half the year. Like maybe, I don't know, 20 games or something. That's more than... He should be suspended for a lot longer than 12 games. That's just me. I think that makes him eligible sometime in January, which is about the time they'll start. I believe that's when they start in conference play. I know that is for Arkansas. That's when they'll start. But, yeah, Jalen Williams, I got to get him. You got to get him. This is your big. This is your guy. He's I've talked to some people who claim him to be more of a kind of a work in progress in that they're going to have to nail him to the floor and develop his inside game a little bit better. But he is aggressive. Actually, this is what 24/7 Sports wrote up about Jalen. This is their evaluation. Again, this is not me. This is 24/7 Sports. Good frame and adequate length for a post player. Does have potential as an inside-outside scoring threat. Is a determined rebounder. Tough on the offensive and defensive boards. Runs the floor well as an active rebounder. Good in-ball screen scenarios on both ends of the court. Still very much developing as an offensive player. Yeah, on the offensive end, there's some development that needs there, but he sounds like another, just something else for Musselman to develop on the defensive side of things. Big time kid, in my opinion. Might be highest rated kid in the state of Arkansas in a while. Well, I say that. We can't overlook Monk. I know that wasn't that long ago. And so Jalen's timeline, his last time he actually visited Auburn was on November 1st. So I guess Bruce Pearl's going to do another in-home visit with him, I think. Don't ask me about the dead period in basketball. I'm not really sure. But then November 9th is the last time he was with Arkansas on an official visit. From what I understand, he had a blast. He loves the Hog fans, the facilities, all those things. I think he's a Hog. Okay, so then the question is KK. I do believe KK will also, as of today, again, so much can change over the course of just a couple of days, or even just 8 hours. Remember Doyle Green Beckham? Remember that? He was all Hog. I still read those threads. I still those come up on my. I was going through some screenshots on my phone that had been uploaded to the cloud, and I saw some stuff that was screenshotted and sent to me where members of the media were like, yeah, he was Dorial Green Beckham. If you don't remember, he was like the number one player out of high school in the country. I don't remember what class that was. I think 2011, maybe 2010, 2011. I can't remember. But anyways, it had said, like, the media were all like, yeah, he was on board. He was all Hog. Something happened, and then, of course, we know where he went. He ended up staying home, and then that ended up being a debacle. He winds up at Oklahoma down the road, doesn't play, goes to the NFL, and disappears. But he was a big-time prospect. So we have seen this happen before where guys just disappear. You think they're all Hog, and then something happens over the course of just 12 hours or 24 hours or 48 hours. So I don't know. Well, again, Jalen to me is the centerpiece to this entire class. And you bring KK on right there, I'm like, I'm good. Right there, I'm good. They will make room. I know there's a lot of rumors about Henderson and some of these other guys, and if Isaiah Joe goes pro, I'll tell you this much: Joe is not being touted right now as like a first round, like a solid first round pick. If you remember Gafford, that's all we heard about was how highly rated he was, and we saw how that happened, how that unfolded. Nothing against Gafford. He had a monster game the other night, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that. And how about Jonathan Williams with the Colts racking it up, huh? That's back-to-back games with 100 yards for the Colts on the ground. On, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, under 15 carries. Pretty special. But what was I saying? Yeah, so remember Gafford, how highly touted he was. We all thought he was a first-round draft pick, at least at the tail end of the first round. And Joe's not even looked at as a first round. So that's the question: is Isaiah Joe going to leave, even if he's not a first rounder? And if he is, if he just wants out, I think he probably is gone. So therefore, you'll have room. I think they'll make room for these guys. I'll allow this once, Ty, but next Friday you better not disappoint because it's Flamingo Friday for a reason. Joking. Love the streams. Yeah, like I said, We were doing laundry, and I guess my shirt, and it's like almost black. It's navy, right? It's navy blue, so it blends in at the bottom of the basket. We have I'm going to give you a little too much information on our laundry here, but our laundry basket's like 2.5 feet tall, right? Really deep, and it's black. So and I noticed this with every load of laundry. Who would have thought we'd be talking about laundry in a live stream? But every load of laundry, I noticed the black clothes get moved to the bottom because they blend in with the freaking hamper. So it just happens. I apologize. Let's see. What will it take to get hog hoops in top 25? That's a really good question. So Joe Lunardi put out another bracket list. And I really wish he would wait at least until the second week of January to do this stuff. But I get it. It's clickbait. People love to talk brackets. He put Arkansas in there again. I think this is his second official updated bracket, or a too early bracket. And again, he puts Arkansas on there. And not only does he put Arkansas on there, he put two teams that Arkansas's already beaten. Who was it? Montana and Western Kentucky, I think. So Arkansas's already 2-0 against two teams that are projected. I'm probably wrong there. It wasn't Rice, so it had to be those two, right? I don't know. Someone will correct me, I'm sure, in the comments section or later on. But anyways, they've defeated two teams already on that list. It's just still too early. Like I said on today's Hog Talk podcast episode, by the way, it's available. It's myself and Porter Hayes, our producer. We were talking about it, and I think I'd mentioned it on this episode, that I'm still skeptical about them making the tournament because it's too early. We've seen this before where Arkansas comes out on fire, and then all of a sudden they disappear, like in the month of January when conference play comes along. They struggle. They get they just struggled under Mike. You remember this. And then February, all of a sudden, you're having to keep up with what you didn't do and what you didn't accomplish in the month of January. And the way this works, the SEC, it looks like they're not great. Like Kentucky's struggling against some bad teams. Alabama's just Alabama. They're bad at basketball. It's amazing. I'm sorry. It must suck to be a one-sport school. But then again, that one sport you're incredibly great at. Your down years are 11-1, 10-2. That must be phenomenal. So maybe that makes up for all the other things that you suck at. But Arkansas is going to have this. If I hope they don't do this, what they did under Mike for so many years, or a couple of years at least, where you're good up until maybe you do lose to Georgia Tech, but it's a damn close one on the road. Okay, you got to give Arkansas credit, right? That's a Power 5 away game, new coach. New transplants on the team. You're working with basically a new system. I think then if they win tonight, and Georgia Tech's Monday if I'm not mistaken, I think if they win tonight they might crack the top 25. I do, because that'll be two teams in Lunardi's list. I don't know if they factor that in the AP, but that's two on a bracket. A basically all but certified bracket. Joe Lunardi is the voice of Arkansas, or of college hoops in brackets. You're 2-0, and I don't know if South Dakota's on there or not. I didn't see. I don't think they were. Maybe they are, but they're 5-0. So now you've got two wins against bracket teams, bracket capable teams at the moment, and then you beat an undefeated team. I think they could crack the top 25. Don't even ask me the last time Mike Anderson cracked the top 25 because I really can't remember. My memory is terrible. Okay, maybe too many concussions in high school. I don't know, but my memory is awful. I couldn't tell you the last time they were ranked. How huge would that be? Already, year one, you're accomplishing something Mike definitely didn't do his first year at Arkansas. So you're already off to a great start. But I think that's what I think if it's a close win tonight, in which I think it probably will be. I think this is going to be one of those games where you're lucky to win by like 8 or 9 because South Dakota is good. They've got a couple of bigs. They got a big right now, 6'10", 235 pounds, averages almost 20 points a game, something like 6 or 7 rebounds a game. He's averaging some blocks. He plays well inside on both ends. And then they've got another big. They got size, more than what Arkansas has anyways. So it won't surprise me if it's a close game. If that happens, I don't know that you get ranked. I don't know. But if you beat the crap, you hold these guys to 60 points. They're top 5, top 8 scoring offense, by the way. You hold them to like 60, 65 points. You win by double digits. All of a sudden, the hype train starts to get real. Then you've got Georgia Tech on Monday, and then that's a whole new week. But I think if you do that, they could be ranked as early as on next week, going into next week. I think it's a possibility, but I think you got to blow these guys out of the water for that to happen. It is South Dakota, even though they're a non-power 5 and they're not really a name in college basketball. This isn't Butler or Xavier or one of those schools, but these guys well coached. Again, they're 5-0. It would look really good. It'd look really good on paper. Obviously, then from that point on, if you're talking about getting to the tournament, which really matters the most. Then it's about what these guys do if you struggle in conference play. Do you think if we beat Georgia Tech undefeated, we'll be? Yes. No. Absolutely. Yeah. Now Georgia Tech, what is their record? Are they unbeaten? Because I know they beat NC State to open their season, and I think NC State was supposed to be okay. Do you feel any different about Arkansas? So if you're talking about, I'm assuming you're talking about Arkansas basketball. I was almost certain coming into the season this was not a team that looked like an NCAA tournament team because of first off you're changing from the MA system to Musselman system, but it's not football. I mean, teams could have overnight changes real quick. Like you get the right guy, the right head coach, the right staff, and all it takes is maybe one difference maker on the court or a couple of playmakers. All of a sudden, things happen. And that's what's great about college basketball. I'm sorry, I knew there's something sketchy about Mike Anderson when it took that amount of years just to get to the tournament. I started doing this. Wait a minute, why did it take so long? But we saw how that ended up after 8 years. But he did. I'm not going to hate on Mike. He did build a wonderful foundation, no doubt about that. He deserves all the credit in the world for that. But that's the difference is Musselman's coaching, the staff. Watch these guys. Musselman, even if you're up 25, 30 points, he is coaching nearly every possession, even though he denies it. He coaches nearly every single possession, every single pass. It's rare that you see him. You'll see those coaches, they get down on one knee and they do this. You rarely see him do that. Now, maybe that changes. I don't know. Maybe if he feels comfortable enough with the team, maybe he won't. But he coaches every possession. I'm still the jury's. I think Scylla. He's just going to be a bench guy. He's going to be a rotator. I don't think Scylla. He's just not. I've been skeptical of him for a while. I've not seen anything from him. But you've got Jimmy Witt, who stepped up of the group of guys. I'm not so sure about Witt. We haven't seen enough of Chaney. I want to see Chaney to be great at something, and I hope that that's playing physical and dominant inside, even though he's not technically a 5. He's at 6'8", 6'7", 6'8" frame. But I want to see him play physical inside, attack the boards, go after those rebounds, get those second chance shots, set guys up. But their ball movement which we knew that was coming. That's what Musselman is known for, his ability. I don't know. I've not heard him called a tactician per se, but he's got a very high. He understands what's going on every possession, and there's definitely, if you go back and watch anything on any of his coaching, if you read anything on him, ball movement and setting up the post, getting guys open, finding a way to let your scorer score, that's something he's good at. And I don't know. I've seen people on Twitter say, well, maybe he's kind of the Bobby Petrino of what Petrino was to offensive football back in the 2000s, 2010, 2011 at Arkansas. Maybe that's what Musselman is as a basketball coach. He has the a very high understanding and IQ of what's going on the court. I'm all about Musselman. I've stretched that question out way further than I should have. I'm sorry. You get me going on Musselman, I get really excited. Yes, my mind has changed. I'll just make it short and sweet. I still don't. I'm jury's out on whether or not they're a tournament team. Let's see what they do in conference play. Let's see what they do at Georgia Tech. They're not projected to be that great this year over in the ACC. They weren't very good last year. They had no business beating Arkansas and Bud Walton last year. And then let's see what they do there. Let's see what they do on the road against Western Kentucky. And then let's get into conference play. Oh, and then you still got at Indiana. Let's see how they handle this non-conference before we start saying, okay, they're a tournament team for sure. That's why I don't like these early brackets. Where did you get your Flamingo Friday shirt? I'm going to get me one. Walmart. My wife got it for me. Let's see. We haven't played Western Kentucky yet. Yeah, I didn't mean – if I said that, that's my bad. I meant the other who you got Montana, and who's the other school I'm thinking of that they beat that made that list? Georgia Tech's got 2-1 record. Okay, yeah, all right. And I know they beat NC State to start the year. Texas A&M is horrible. They're supposed to be bad. A&M shouldn't be good this year. Any hype? I don't understand anyone excited about A&M basketball this year. Kentucky's obviously, I think they're overrated, but if you're going to tell me that they're going to look this bad in February, you have a hard time selling me on that. Hogs will beat Dakota and Georgia Tech. I think they beat South Dakota tonight. Georgia Tech, I don't know just yet. Let's see. He got a technical last game. He sure did. Musselman got a technical. He coaches. It doesn't matter what the lead is. It doesn't matter what the score is. Jay Massey, what's going on, Ty? I'm going to see the game tomorrow down here in Tiger Town. Ooh, thoughts and prayers with you. This game tonight, tip-off is at what? I had that up here. What time is tip-off, guys? Where's that at? Where's it at? I'll just have to pull up a new tab. I'm sure by the time I get this, someone will answer. But is it 7? Is that what time the game is? I thought it was 7. YouTube is working. Okay, I better watch what I say. It's about this time when things went hectic. Yeah, tonight, 8 p.m. SEC Network, South Dakota. And then after that, you got Georgia Tech on Monday, NKU, APSU, and then at Western Kentucky. Let's see, Rice, North Texas, Montana, and Texas Southern. I swear someone other than Montana made that list for Joe Lenardi. Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, I'll say this, too. Tonight, you can't get off to a slow start. Isaiah Joe and these guys cannot get off to this 0-14 bull crap on shooting threes. You just cannot. I understand that mentality of letting your shooters shoot. I get it. But I feel like if you're doing something really bad, if you're getting blocked out and you're unable to drive the lane, there's no inside presence, then you go to your plan B for teams that are developed that way, and that's finding the perimeter, getting some shots, finding a way to get some open shots outside. For Arkansas, it's the opposite, where like shots don't land, out in 3-point land. If they're unable to get the threes, if they start out 0 for 14 against someone like South Dakota, or, I don't know, on the road against Georgia Tech or Western Kentucky or Indiana, or even then you've got SEC play starting in January, you're going to struggle. You're not going to beat the crap out of teams. You're going to find yourself in a tight game, no matter how great your defense is. That's the good thing about Arkansas, though. Their defense, their defensive basketball has just bailed them out. Or is going to bail them out, I think, of some issues moving forward. But, yeah, South Dakota, I think, is going to be problematic. Tyler, I think it's Hagedorn. I don't know. It's spelled Hagedorn. It almost looks like Hagedorn, but maybe it's Hagedorn. I don't know, but he's a big. He's 6'10", 6'11", 6 rebounds a game. He averages about a block a game, but yeah, his shooting is it's 63%, but we know where he's getting his shots. The next up, you've got Stanley Yamud. It's what I do here. I butcher names. Stanley Yamud. I'm pretty sure, but he averages 16 points a game, and then Tristan Simpson averages 13 points. But they do have some size inside. They got a couple of 6'10s, so we'll see if that's what they use against Arkansas tonight, is their lack of size. All right, I think that's really all we got. Talk about basketball, but boy, it's fun to talk basketball. It's fun to talk about something you're actually good at. Scoring off defense is how you win. We need Witt to score 15 a game or another 10 to 14 a game scorer with him, Joe Jones. Yeah, you need if Mason Jones is unable to give assistance to Isaiah Joe, then yeah, you've got to have someone else stepping up. Tip off is at 8. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, that's right. Tip off is at 8. Let's see. Chadwick he's going to ask a football question here. This is a football question. Sorry, had to ask. Do you think Auburn will fire Gus? And yeah, tip off is at 8. I'll say this. Auburn fans hate him. Auburn fans are not thrilled with what they're getting out of Gus. They're paying him entirely too much. It's a lot of money to walk away from for them. He's not going to step down. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I kind of thought maybe my dad and I talked a lot about this. My dad asked me this all the time. What are the odds that Chad Moore steps down? And I said, Dad, he's not going to walk away from that kind of money. The same thing with Gus. You got to wonder if he's just fed up though with every week. If you underperform, you're on the hot seat. Now imagine Nick Saban though. You lose a game or you don't beat someone by enough points, you're trash. It's not that hard. Just pull up the Bama or Auburn Twitter. They do not like they love Saban obviously, but Auburn fans are sick of Gus underperforming. This is a team that was that last year they were ranked like top 8 in the country, and they had a very lackluster year, and they got screwed. If anything, Arkansas forced Auburn to pay Gus even more. And they're not getting the value out of him, just like Arkansas wasn't getting near the value out of Chad Morris in terms of what he was getting. Let's see. What is your score prediction for tonight's game time? I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, although I do think they get above 50 points. To me, it's got 70 to 62 written all over it. It's got something like that. I don't think it's going to be – well, I don't know. I say that. They're really good on offense. They're really good on offense, actually. And that's what has me worried. But they haven't, and I was listening to people talk about this actually today, they haven't played a defense like Arkansas, and they haven't walked into a place like Bud Walton this year. If they overcome those two factors, it's going to be a toe-to-toe, and I think they will. They seem like a pretty well-coached team. It's going to be a toe-to-toe game. Maybe it won't be so low-scoring. It has that feeling, though, that it's going to be a single-digit game. But if Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones go cold, be careful. Be careful. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's your prediction for the score tonight? I'm going to say, because I haven't even thought about that yet, actually. I did pick on the Hog Talk. I did pick Arkansas to win. And I think they're favored they're favored really high on the power index over on ESPN. I'm going to say 80. God, I don't know. I feel like I need to type this out because I'll probably forget. 84-76. Write that down. That's what I said. 84-76 Arkansas. South Dakota, Western Kentucky, Montana, and Hogs up to the 10th seed, says Anthony White. Okay. Auburn fans aren't the only ones that hate him, says If he gets fired, he will come here, I believe. Listen, I've said it before here. There are people that want him here. And they're not just in Springdale. It's not just the fan club, the Gus fan club in Springdale. People at Shiloh and what connections he has left up here. There's people in Little Rock that want him here. Is it better than what they've had the last two coaches? I think so. That's really the question. Would Gus be an upgrade even to a Brett Bielema here? And I think so. To some people, that's more than enough to excite them. Like, okay, finally, at least someone who will make us better than 4-8 and 2-10. I think he could do that here, but I don't know. I'm not calling him gotta watch what I say. I'm not calling him a bad person, but he just feels slimy. It feels slimy to me. There, I said it. Gus just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, oh, it doesn't work out at Auburn, so now you settle for Arkansas. I don't know. I just, like I said, and I said this on the last live stream. Actually, it was about this time when my live stream cut out when I said this, so maybe it's anti-Gus fans that are after me now. But I want, like, compared to him and Chad Morris, if those were the two options on the table, I wanted Gus, no doubt. But I was thrilled about what Chad brought to the table in terms of recruiting and what he did at Clemson. But I'm just not on board with the Gus hire, but I'm also not entirely against it. I guess I would be that guy on the side of the road when like when the president comes to town. Please, I'm not bashing Trump and I'm not promoting Trump, but I'm just saying I'd be that guy on the side of the road that just says meh on the sign, MEH, ... like meh, you know? I'm not for it, but I'm not against it. 72-68, okay. That's a good one. I like that. What did I say? I already forgot. What did I say? 74 to shoot. Someone remind me. Hogs wins. I tell you what, I'll put my official prediction on Discord. If you're not there, go there. We'll do it there. I can't stand his press conferences, but I love to hate watching them. This is Jay. Okay. You're right. Gus is a slime ball. I just, there's something about that it just rubs me the wrong way. I feel like he did Arkansas dirty the last time. I just, the way things went down with the Springdale 5, although that wasn't his fault. Okay, we've had Ben Cleveland on. We've talked to some of these people that were involved. Well, Ben and a couple of members of the media over the years. I've had the opportunity to talk to about that a little bit. Gus isn't entirely at fault, but he also didn't handle that situation any better. I was around Gus some when he was at Arkansas State. He's a complete war machine. Your comment got thrown into the. I had to approve it. What's a war machine? I guess again, I wouldn't be upset by it, but I don't know that I'd be entirely on board. But you know how this happens. Whoever they bring in, you start, and this is what always happens, you start to dissect the positive stuff. Oh, well, Gus did this on offense in 2000 whatever, and Gus did this as the offensive coordinator at Arkansas, and he did this. And you start to dissect, and slowly, it's like those seeds are being planted in the back of your brain. Okay, all right, maybe I could come around to Gus. That's exactly how this is going to go. It's what happened with Chad. Brett, it didn't take a whole lot of convincing to me because of what he was able to accomplish at Wisconsin. Sleazeball. 70-62 is what you said. Okay, write that down. I said that here, 70-62. I was going to give you guys a Discord link too, by the way. Michael Dyer, that situation had some sketchy details. Yeah, I remember the Michael Dyer stuff. There were a lot of rumors around that. I remember that. Let's see. Gus anywhere but Arkansas. Boom. So again, thank you guys. Remember to share the content. We're 36 minutes in, and I haven't had any issues so far tonight. Making sure a meteor didn't strike my house or bullet. A red dot. If you see a red dot right here on my face, oh, I'm sorry. I am in Springdale after all. I don't know why, Jay. I'm sorry. Your messages are getting retracted. YouTube is so fickle. Let's see. I still think Campbell would be a good fit. That is my guy. That 100% my guy. That is if you wanted to circle a name on the list, like who stands out the most to you, give me Campbell any day of the week. Let's see. But it's hard to recruit to Iowa State, and the program was terrible until he turned it around. That is exactly what happened. He made Toledo. It's hard to make those jobs and put them on the map, but he definitely, you don't have the same, when Toledo's on somebody's schedule, I feel like, I'm like, ooh, that might be tough. And that's all because of what Campbell did there. And then you look at Iowa State, they're respectable in the Big 12. I know we could take shots at the Big 12, as I often do, because I think it's a garbage conference. Laugh out loud. That's hilarious. I'll give you the censored version. He treats everyone around like complete trash. He's a robot built for football. And another thing too, I'm tired of the RPO. I know that that's what they're geared towards right now with guys like John Steven and KJ, and they've got that. That's what they were trying to do. Everybody runs this freaking offense. There's nothing unique about it. It's gotten to a point where defenses are adjusting to it a little bit, and unless you just got flashy talent, it can still be pretty predictable. It's not what it was 10 years ago. It's not the unique offense anymore. It is what the I formation was or dare I say the pistol formation 15, 20 years ago. That's all it is. Teams are getting caught up to it. Everybody does it. Everyone recruits to it. Look, that's my appeal towards someone like a Leach. Here we go. We're talking coaching search again. I was going to try to avoid that a little bit. But that's what I do like about Leach. Is it's air raid. It's 4 or 5 wide. Air the ball out. Throw it around. Score points. Yo, what up, Ty? What's going on, Matthew? How's it going, sir? What do you think about Houston tonight? Oh, God. Okay, first off, those are BS rumors if I've ever heard. Look, yes, he probably did, and I think he did. He talked with Hunter Yurachek, but it wasn't about the coaching job to take over as the head coach. If that is the conversation, I'm going to be – every positive thing I've ever said about Hunter Yurachek is going to go out the window if they make that hire. But it's not happening. They're talking to him just about the – the expectations of the position or something. It's not about – this isn't a conversation of, hey, do you want to come coach here? That's not what's going on. Because we know Houston Nutt is a used car salesman, okay? And that's what made him great here. He could sell the program. He was a hell of an evaluator and a developer of talent, no doubt about that. But he knows how to sell himself. And so when he's talking to Little Rock, who was at the Buzz, oh, yeah, no, I talked to the university. I talked to Hunter Yurachek about the job. It's not what you think. Guarantee he was exaggerating that conversation. I'm going to take another sip of my Taco Bell cup. Don't hire him and don't hire Petrino. Petrino's a PR nightmare. I don't think there's any chance that happens. If we could play baseball inside in the football stadium, we could maybe sell. Seth Moore says more tickets. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see. Give me Leach or give me death. But seriously, no Kiffin or Malzahn. Look, Kiffin. I think something, too, Hog fans are going to have to realize this is not the job that it once was. This is not a job, and it's a hard sell. Hunter won't ever come out and say that, but it's a hard sell. It's not like you can go knock on the door of any coach you want and get whoever you want. That's not the case. That's never been the case at Arkansas. They've made some fantastic hires. If you look at the good old boys system, it actually won games because the good old boys system brought in Ken Hatfield and brought in eventually Houston Nutt and Dave Van Horn with the baseball program. I'm still a firm believer, though, that you don't want to do that. You don't want to restrict yourself to that because then you narrow your field down. But I don't know. You can't make those hires. You can't make those types of hires. Let's see. I'll take Leach. Last week, his team had 520 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. He said on the radio, I was listening. I don't care what he said. Arkansas's not offering him the job. That's a PR nightmare. The guy was trending down. He left Ole Miss. If he was such a great hire, why isn't he coaching somewhere? If he's such a fantastic hire, and you're going to tell me he's just holding out for the Arkansas job? No. If he was a good enough coach, he'd be coaching somewhere. Let's see. Why do people shoot down Hugh Freeze? Didn't he do well at State and Ole Miss? Matthew, you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle in that the guy cheated and didn't even try to hide it at Ole Miss. Too much baggage. I like what he does on the offensive side of that. He's at Liberty now, right? Isn't that where he's at, Liberty? And they're putting up ridiculous amounts of offense and points and yards. That's great. Too much baggage. Again, you have to. There's a little thing that you want to avoid, and that's becoming yet another PR nightmare like what we had with after Petrino. Ty, have you heard anything about Jalen or KK? Yeah, well, Jalen, like I said, is tomorrow. He's putting out a video. I think it's between 1:30 and 3. I think he's a hog. KK, as of today, I think is a hog. As of today, right now at Central Time, 5:44. As of right now, on the 22nd of November, I think they're both hogs. That will change. Maybe. Could change. How big of a contract would Arkansas afford to get someone here they want? A lot. And I have seen the prostitutes. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, then you had the whole prostitute stuff going down, too, with Hugh Freeze. It's going to have to be a lot. Now, that's the benefit. You've heard Pittman and Barry Lundy's name thrown out there, and I know instantly people roll their eyes. But Those are two guys, if you're someone who keeps up with the financials and you think Arkansas is going to be broke if they don't get the right guy, there's a solid argument. Barry Loney's definitely not going to happen because his resume is impressive, what he's been able to do at the tight end position and just what he's, as a recruiter, he's done fantastic. But he's on his resume building starts tomorrow. And if he could somehow manage to cover the spread and then some, I think I said that here too last week or on Monday. If he can cover the spread and then some on Monday or Saturday, like cut that lead in half, cut the game, and let's say it's a competitive game too. It's a game that goes down to the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they're competitive. It's not going to happen, I know. But by the way, I'm taking Arkansas to cover that spread. But let's say that happens, and then he beats Mizzou. Maybe there's a legitimate argument there to be made for him. And then Sam Pittman, it's just the connections, his recruiting, his ability to develop the offensive line, things like that. Let's see. You think the Hogs get Jalen Williams? Yes, I do. I've already said that. Matthew Heston says, I don't know. What about Freeze? Not in my top 5, but I didn't. Okay, yeah. All right. QTZ, what's going on? Lane, Leach, Campbell. I can't pronounce that Virginia Tech's last name right. Fuente, whatever. No, I don't want him. I do not understand why he's coming up on everybody's short list. I'm sorry. QTZ, I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Virginia, if you're struggling at somewhere like Virginia Tech, which isn't, really Arkansas and Virginia Tech are like here, Maybe Virginia Tech's a little bit ahead, and you're in the ACC, which conference-wise is down here below the SEC. If you're struggling there, I don't know. There's nothing about him that says that he could be successful here. He's from Tulsa. I think that's one of the things that people like about him. What's your thoughts on Friendsgiving? What? If not Leach, I'll be good with Pittman. All right, so let's pivot to this LSU-Arkansas game really quick. I'm going to make it fast. What are we on time-wise? I'll try to keep these bad boys under an hour. Where are we at? 45 minutes. Okay, we got a little bit. It will be this is what I think happens. First off, I do think Arkansas covers the spread. I think that happens. I think Arkansas covers the spread. But I think it's only because LSU gets out to this huge lead. They've got bigger fish to fry. Now, only beating Arkansas like 45-17 might give Ohio State the edge. We talk about that number 1 spot. But here's the thing: LSU, all they got to do is win out. Even if for whatever reason Arkansas is competitive with them, all they got to do is win out. They're in the SEC championship. They're going to play Georgia. They should win that game. I think they're way ahead of Georgia personally, but. You do that, and you're fine. They got bigger fish to fry, and I think what happens is you see Burrow get benched probably, into the first quarter. For real, though, I think he ends up getting benched in probably the third quarter, and then Arkansas maybe gets something going. My concern is if you start KJ, your offense is going to be one-dimensional. His passing game is just so far behind. And I do think they go with KJ simply because of the player support behind him, and I think Barry – that's something that's something that Barry has already mentioned and talked about a little bit when talking to the press. So I think KJ gets the nod, but I wonder, though, if you become one-dimensional, which they're going to. It doesn't matter who they put out. It doesn't matter who they put out there. They could put Matt Jones when he's 20-year-old Matt Jones out there, quarterback. It's not going to make a difference. That team is just elite. That's one of the best LSU teams I've seen in a while. And it won't matter what they do at quarterback, but I don't know that KJ necessarily gives you the best chance or not. I don't know. I know I'm going to catch heat for that, but and if he goes out tomorrow and he shocks and awes everybody, I'm going to really catch it. But it's not because I don't believe in him. Most of you know who've been around for a little while, I'm a pretty big KJ Jefferson fan. In the RPO with Chad here, I said over and over he's going to be the future, assuming Chad sticks it out. I don't know now if they go to the spread, they go to like an air raid offense. I don't know what his future looks like here, but I really like KJ. But I just don't know if he's the guy that gives you the absolute best chance at winning this ball game or putting points on. We know he's not going to win. Let's be real. But I don't know if he puts you in the best position to put to move the ball. against LSU. Maybe eventually when LSU starts resting their starters, maybe they can get something going. But that's why I think they cover. Because one way or another, if it's not KJ, then maybe they switch over to John Stephen. I think in the third or fourth quarter they find a way to put some points up. But I think they cover. I do. I think they get off to like a 45-0 lead, something like that, and then Arkansas maybe scores a couple times. KJ starts, and we will see Starkel. I think it's absolutely a possibility they put Starkel back out there. I do. Let's switch Dave Van Horn to the football coach, if only. Woodshed, who starts at quarterback? I think it's going to be KJ starting. I believe that it is. Hire Barry Switzer to install the wishbone. And Jimmy Johnson to coach the defense, and buy the world's best cappuccino machine to keep the old boys jazzed. Well, I don't know that their hearts could handle it. Those guys are getting up there in age. I don't know what you're saying, Jacob. I think you're asking, does Hicks leave the team? I don't know what's going on with Hicks. I don't know if he's already just kind of pieced out, just hasn't said anything. He's still technically a part of the team. I don't know what's going on there. I've not heard anything. At least my Hogs and Celtics winning this season. Celtics off to a great start, huh? Not bad. Didn't like what I saw on the road against L.A., but, I mean, Patrick Beverley was the man, though. It's hard to root against Patrick Beverley. Why are you almost the only one putting out content this week? Says Lucas. Well, you're coming off a bye week, you know. You're coming off a bye week. There's just not a lot out there. There's been some content. The Hog Talk. Hey, baby, we got the latest episode of the Hog Talk. Did Hicks leave the team? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Hicks. I think he's still on the team. Let's see. I'm a Hog says, in 2 years, can we have all Arkansas natives starting 5 championship winners? If you're talking basketball, look, they're killing it in recruiting there, even though I'm not worried about more, but I do like what they're doing with the rest of it. I think they end up getting Jalen Williams. I think they end up getting KK. Absolutely. Hey, guys, smash the like button. The cheesiest thing YouTubers say, smash that like button. I heard one guy during a live stream say, destroy the sub button or something. And I put out a farting Chavis Twitter, the video. If you're in my Discord, I think I shared it with you guys a couple weeks ago. But I made this Chavis farting video, and that triggered a few people. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. Go. I think it's funny. I can't believe the stuff. It's farts, people. They're farts. Okay, we all do it. Will Jerry draft his grandson? Probably not. Not if John Stephen doesn't get some production on the field, whoever the next staff is. I think Kendall Briles might, or let's see. I think Kendall Briles may be in the long list. And someone had brought up Art. What about Art Briles? Has he learned his lesson and should he be given a second chance? And how I would feel about that. That was actually something that someone asked me in the DMs earlier in the week. That's a tough one. I mean, I'm not one to ride that high, like, you got to have morals. Like, yeah, you got to have morals. And what he did, he should have handled what happened at Baylor a lot differently. You can't excuse what he did. And I'm not really interested in becoming a win-at-all-cost program. I'm just not. That's for Oklahoma. That's for schools like that want to bring in, just whoever. Although they've done a great job with this head coach. The last head coach didn't matter what his kids did off the field. Stoops didn't care. If they could play football, they could play football. Art Briles, you kind of feel it's that same. He's cut from the same cloth. I don't know if I'm interested in that, win at all costs. But then again, how bad Arkansas's been, I know there's some fans that would be like, you know what, I'm not above. Look, he learned his lesson. Bring him in. I wish Art Briles went too risky. Arkansas definitely going to the big dance this year, says Micah. I think they certainly look good enough against – we don't even know how good their opponents are at this point. We really don't know how good these guys are until we get further down the season. Again, we've seen this before, even under Mike, where they play phenomenal non-conference basketball. Then they get into the conference play, and they struggle. I'm okay with Ty AB. I'm a big believer in redemption. Okay. I'm okay with Art Briles. This is Mr. T-Dub. Well, what about you, UCF coach? And Rich Rod could make us a winner again, too. I've seen Rich Rod. I've seen Schiano, Greg Schiano's name come up, but I've heard I don't know what he's doing. I know he was working with the Tampa Bay Bucks for a little while, and then I don't know what he's doing now. I'm always skeptical of those guys that aren't in coaching anymore, like Houston Nutt or even Bobby Petrino, Greg Schiano, guys that aren't really involved. I'm always a little questionable of that. Like, if they're so great, why aren't they coaching? But I have heard Schiano wants that Rutgers job, so I could see them going that route. All right, is it over? Are we done? What's going on? What are we at time-wise? 53 minutes. Okay. Yeah, your message got retracted. So anybody, this looks like we'll be able to post this tomorrow on the Pictorial Podcast. That link is provided for you down below if you missed out on some stuff. Talk about basketball. Bro, you are late to the game. We've already talked basketball. The whole first 20 minutes was about basketball. Sorry. You can go back and watch, or the podcast will be up tomorrow on the Pictorial Podcast. Please go check that out. Go subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are. I try to put these live streams up the following day, and then there's a Thirsty Thursday episode that airs or that goes out. I think 6 a.m. is when I get those out, and those are typically about 20 minutes long, somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes long. All of those have been out. We've had some issues with getting some of these episodes uploaded, though. Let's see. Mark Douglas. What's up, Mark? I hope you're doing well. Leach on the Razorback Club speaking tours would be awesome. Oh, my God. Tell me about it. Foundation could sell Best Pearls of Leach DVD of his speeches. You're a capitalist, Mark. That's what you are. You're a capitalist, sir. I like it. Could you imagine a podcast with him? The Mike Leach. I would love. No. Not just Mike Leach. Set Mike Leach down with Houston Nutt. That guy could be pretty entertaining at times. Brett Bielema, I know fans hate Brett Bielema, but you remember some of his antics when talking to the press. Imagine those three guys sitting down and just having a podcast. I would tune into that every episode. Leach would sell tickets to the press conferences. Like, that would be amazing. And that's why I think the media really wants him. Fans want him because of what he can do on offense. Leach is the man, though. Look, man, I mean, his offense, at the end of the day, I would have no issue. That wouldn't be a stand to the side with a meh sign, like I said earlier, MEH ... That would be okay, all right, Arkansas can move the ball. Only question is his age. He's coming up on 60. How do you see football recruiting playing out? 0 offensive commits right now. Is it 0? I haven't looked all week, I'll be honest with you. Right now, I've put football recruiting to the wayside, waiting until they get a coach. If you bring in someone like Leach, you feel pretty confident that he can go back into Texas and maybe grab some recruits. I think he's got pipelines there in Oklahoma and Kansas. If you can, not like much comes out of Kansas, but if you can grab Leach or someone who can recruit East Texas, for the love of God, maybe you can convince some of those kids to come back. Oh, excuse me. Gonna have to take a sippy sip. But right now, I'm going to be surprised if they don't lose at least a couple more commits before the end of the season. But I think, too, what these kids are waiting on for the next coach. Go get someone with NFL experience, so it will be a recruiting draw. That hasn't worked everywhere, though. Just because you go grab someone out of the NFL, like an assistant, or that doesn't work the way you think that it does. There's got to be there's a lot of other things that factor in. How early can I get on the field? How much, as far as talent being developed, what's your background there? Like, those things matter. We know because we've talked to recruits. Leach air raid offense would be awesome for these wide receivers, yeah. When you talk about instant fit, my only question is quarterback. My question is KJ. I don't think he's, that's going to take a couple of years to get him developed into the game. Honestly, and I know this is going to rub some fans the wrong way, the only guy that I see that could run that offense yeah, it's Starkel. It's the only guy I could see run that offense. He scares you to death with his decision-making, though. Arm, he's got it. If you could just get him to think. And look, Leach has developed some talent at quarterback. He's made guys better. I don't know, T-Dub, your messages, I don't know why. 2 out of your 4 messages get held for review, and I don't know why. Let's see, what did he say? Mike Leach will kill the JUCO transfers in his first 3 weeks, plus his guys will transfer. I don't know about his guys transferring. I don't know. But I do know I have heard his players do love him. So there's always that possibility. All right. I think that's going to do it. Don't forget, if Arkansas, and this was the surprise. I was going to say this at the beginning. I forgot. Instead of 14, if Arkansas can hold it within 20 points, I will shave my beard in the postgame. 20 points. Odds of that happening are slim, I know. But if it happens, I will sit right here. I've got an electric shaver. I'll shave. I've got baby face like you've never seen before. I go from 36 to like 12 without my beard. I hate not having my beard, but I'll do it. 20 points. It was 14. 21. 21 points. 3 scores. We'll make it simple. 21. That's what I'll do. I'm sure my wife is loving this. I'm still a Pittman, man. What's up, Ty? What's up, Blake? Hope you're doing well. Finally back in the world. Hopefully we will make it competitive tomorrow. Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for. 21 points. I'll shave my beard live right here, post-game. It'll happen. So I also forgot to put up a you guys saw the let's see. You saw that. That's my Patreon screen. That apparently was the default thumbnail. That's my bad. So if you go on Facebook or Twitter, that pulls up. I didn't mean for that to be the thumbnail. That's my bad. I don't have a... Yeah, so if you see... Yeah, right there. That's my bad. Okay, I think that's going to do it. Hey, we didn't have any problems tonight. How about that? No disconnects tonight. Love it. Let's see, if they hold South Dakota within 20 points, will you shave? No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Basketball's too. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm not doing that. But football, keep it within 21. I'll shave my beard on the post-game live stream. So, all right. What if they win? Oh, that's not going to happen. I don't know. Shave my head? And no, Sarah, my wife will kill me. I don't know. Have my wife dump something on my head? I really don't know. Let's see. Last comment I'll read. It'll be like the episode of South Park where everyone goes crazy celebrating as if they'd won the Super Bowl, but just beat the spread. That's true. Chris, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what would happen. We covered the spread against the number 1 team in the country. All right, yeah, we're going to end it there. Thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, smash the like button. Tap the subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out the links if you guys want to throw a tip in the tip jar. I've had some finger wagging over that. I had someone tell me that that's not proper, that I shouldn't be thanking you guys for the donations and stuff. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to continue to keep doing that. So I really do appreciate you guys, though, coming by every night and catching these live streams and following me everywhere I go. I know there's some of you that listen to the Hog Talk podcast and listen to my Thirsty Thursday episodes on the Pig Trail podcast. I really do appreciate the hell out of you. And really quick, too, I wanted to say a special shout-out to these Patreons. You guys saw that screen. I already put it up there once before. Timothy Whiseant, George Rector, Randall Hunt, Tyler Edmonson, Danyel Hadley, all were Patreon supporters in the month of October. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. If I'm missing you, let me know. I'll rectify that. So, yeah. Let me know. I'm saying if they win, what will you do? I don't know, Sean. I know what you're asking. I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to have. I don't know. Maybe I'll have my wife dump beer on my head. I used to do beer dumps in the backyard. I used to do these videos where I would give a shout out on the Twitter video, the live stream or whatever, and then dump beer on my head. Maybe it'll be something like that. Let's see. I'm about to eat the world's hottest chocolate bar. I should just have shaved. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. We'll do the halftime. I think we're going to be able to do the halftime show on the Hog Talk, and then we'll be here for the post-game live show. Hopefully I'm not shaving my beard. You guys be good, and I'll talk to you later. Go Hogs.